What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. I do want to touch base on the Naziah Harris case. Now, Roxy went on Facebook and still accused King of being involved in the disappearance of Naziah. Now, I know a lot of y'all heard about the Naziah Harris story. It's a very sad situation because honestly, in my opinion, I feel like everybody surrounding her failed her, even up to the day that she disappeared. I honestly feel like her family didn't do much to protect her or didn't do much to even look for her the day that she went missing. Now, according to the trial and the witness statement, Naziah been at Jarvis' shop that whole entire day. Shannon or Annette never went to the shop to check to see if she went up there. So there's one reason why I do blame Shannon and Annette, because I feel like they didn't take the proper procedures in looking for her when she went missing. Not only that, during the day that she went missing, according to statements that was put out, Annette went to bed, and the next day that's when she went to the school to report her as a runaway, not a missing child. So y'all really got to learn the difference between a runaway situation versus a missing child. When it's a runaway situation, it's not really high alert. They feel like the child is going to come back since they are labeled as a runaway. A missing person report raise awareness, red flags, a bolo would have been issued out the same day. And this could have saved Naziah because Jarvis' sister and other people seen Naziah entering and exiting the gas station by Jarvis' shop. Now, the reason why Roxy believed King had something to do with it, because she posted this on her Facebook and stated that she believed King and Jarvis was talking in codes. Now, for the people who never watched the trial, King and Jarvis are co-owners of the shop. King was at the shop when Naziah was at the shop, but it wasn't, out the ordinary for Naziah to be up there because she always up there. So King looked at it, hey, this is his niece always up there. But my only issue with King is, if Naziah was the only child at that shop that day, you don't think it was very suspicious that his own daughters wasn't there, but Naziah was there? And I'm not trying to say that King has something to do with it, but come on now. Like, you couldn't tell Jarvis to take this child home, or tell Jarvis, the kid can't be in the shop because no other kid not around. You can't tell me that King ain't know about Jarvis' past criminal history. Like, it's a lot of red flags that I do want to talk about and I do want to discuss. So when Roxy had put this post up on Facebook, a lot of people did enter her chat and say that they believe that King is innocent, but a lot of people feel like King know more than what he say. He just don't want to be involved. But honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like Roxy need to point the blaming finger at her own family members, which is Shannon and Annette, not King, because Shannon knew his background and Annette knew his background. And they always allowed Naziah to be around, Jarvis without adult supervision. My thing with this situation with the state of Detroit, prior to the disappearance of Naziah, multiple family members reported that Jarvis was, touching on the kids that was around him. CPS got involved, but CPS closed the case due to lack of evidence because they did not have proof that Jarvis did these allegations. But my thing with Detroit CPS system, if you knew that he had a criminal history of doing those things, that case should have been open. They should have dug a little deeper. But again, with the criminal justice system, they go by evidence, physical evidence, not by word of mouth. And they felt like it was not enough evidence to prove that Jarvis was touching on these kids. I don't know what type of evidence that the criminal justice system want from these, minors who report allegations of SA. It's not like you could get physical evidence of somebody touching on another person. It's not like people leave behind their fingerprints. It's really hard to prove in court. And that's one reason why the CPS case was dropped when it was filed back in, I believe, 2020 or 2021, because they did not have enough evidence to really, pursue charges against Jarvis. Now, years after the CPS case was filed, Naziah Harris went missing and Jarvis was the main suspect. So you see how the DCF system or CPS system failed these kids, and you see how the criminal justice system worked backwards. They want physical evidence to really even press charges on anybody. It doesn't matter what type of crime it is. They always want solid evidence for the evidence to hold in trial. Now, the only thing that saved Naziah Harris in this situation against Jarvis is the text messages. And that's solid evidence because she was texting him. Now, he thought she maybe was deleting it, but on Her end, she kept it. But on his end, he deleted some stuff. But with technology nowadays, you could relocate and pull up, deleted messages out your phone. For anybody who think just because you delete something, it'll go away. No, even on the computer, it's still going to be on your hard drive. It might not be on the front face of your system, but, it's IT techs that really could dig deep and pull up everything that you ever Google or even deleted from your system. And that's the only reason why Jarvis was really, charged with the situation. And when his sister came out and confirmed that, hey, I did see Naziah Harris with Jarvis on the day that, she disappeared. Now, again, if Roxy going to blame anybody, she got to blame her auntie and her cousin. They allowed this man to be around this child. They had so much trust in this man, thinking that this man, changed. Jarvis is a habitual SA, and I think a lot of people need to, keep their eyes open on people with behavior like that. And a lot of people don't get caught. There's a lot of SA, PDF files that's out here doing their thing, and they're going to continue doing their thing because they know that without solid evidence, these crimes can't be linked to them. And what's so sad about this, Naziah Harris' body have not yet been recovered yet, and she been missing since January of 2024. We are here in July in 2025, and Jarvis have not yet admitted to unaliving Naziah. And most people is still hanging on to a little bit of hope that Naziah Harris is alive. But if she is alive, where is Naziah? And a lot of people believe that she transitioned to the other side. And again, where is Naziah? And that's the biggest question that people want to know. And Jarvis is the only one that can really answer that question. He claimed that he don't know, but he was the only one seen with her when she was alive. So you really got to ask yourself why Shannon and Annette didn't go to the shop the day that Naziah went missing. And from my theory, it's just my opinion. Honestly, I feel like Shannon and Annette knew what was going on and they didn't want to get in trouble with the law, so they helped cover it up. Why would they report her as a runaway versus a missing child? Again, if Roxy gonna blame anybody, she need to really point the finger at her own family members. And this is a sad situation, but it's still justice for Naziah Harris. And the trial is coming up. I believe it was October 6th, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. But justice for Naziah Harris and justice for any kid that's out here, dealing with this type of situation where nobody believe you. Just remember, no one believed the situation with Naziah Harris. And a couple of years later, the truth came out. The truth always gonna come out. But y'all let me know what y'all think.